We had a cold spell hit, and we just got into a decent temperature today. But it's been in the 40s and 50s here, which is unusual for May.
Yeah, no, we've been having, it's kind of weird too. We've been having like unseasonably warm days, and then it'll go completely freezing the next day.
Yeah.
How going, everyone out there? We got Jeff today, and anyone else that pops in. Robbo won't be in for another 4 or 5 days, I suppose. He's on a he's going to a turning show. It's a whole weekend event. So,
I remember him posting something about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So if this doesn't work straight away, I'm not going to be too worried about it, because the last one I bought, it actually needed to be sat around for 3 or 4 days for it to soak through properly down through the tip.
Mm-hmm. Did he give you a little funnel for that?
No, I'm going to see if I can make one up.
Yeah.
Can't hear my wife singing, can you?
I hear the birds.
Oh, God. Thank you. I'm glad that's all you can hear. Oh. I'll be back in a sec. I'm very unorganized. You've got to go to the pen. All right, sorry about that. This will do, just nicely.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Because it's got a small tip in there.
Yeah. Yep.
Oof. Anyone got any nits? I can get it out for you if you want. Ooh-wee.
Nasty smelling stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Beautiful. All right, I'll let that sit for a little bit upside down, do its thing. That's a bit better. Look at that instead of mine. It's of my legs. Alrighty.
You got a good sized piece came out of that. Testing.
I had to mute my microphone because I was grinding.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say you had a good piece come out of that on the edge.
Yeah, it's bloody hard.
Is that the pith?
To say the least. Sorry?
Is that the pith?
Nah, no piff in this one.
No.
If anything, it would have been up here somewhere where that big chunk come out at Robbo's house.
Oh, okay.
Just wrecking it. How you going, Dr. Bob?
Good.
Hello, Bob.
Eddie, how you doing?
Doing good.
Yeah, I was telling Jay I'd try to get on tonight and see how I could work out. I got some odds and ends to do on this piece that I've got going here. Uh,
Are you trying to shut
make sure which camera I'm connected to.
the one that's pointing at your headstock?
Oh, okay. But that's not what's showing up.
Oh,
There's the headstock.
yeah.
What wood's that?
Oh, okay, there. Yeah. I've got some work I wanted to get done, and this is I've been testing the new tool system that AZ Carbide has, and I've got wood here that is utterly pathetically hard. So
Is that black walnut?
yeah,
Yeah.
rock hard, and it was dated when it came from drying. It was dated 13.
Hmm. Yeah.
So that's pretty hard. That old.
Yeah, easily.
But I wanted to get some of this done, and I said I would save some. I was knee deep in it today, the shavings from it, trying to see which cutter to work best with this, and whether it be a scraper or what. And I don't know.
You did that with the new tool?
Yeah,
Very nice.
it hasn't been sanded yet. I can still see the lines running in it. But I've got, before I flip it around, I want to get my hole in the bottom for a logo.
Right.
I really wanted to trade.
That's more. I want it to be not proud of it, but just under it. But I got to sand it, and when I sand it, it's going to leave a space where it becomes proud. So
All right.
there. So how have you been today?
I've been good. I was telling Jay this has been a week of fixing broken things. I had to put a new sound bar in the TV today. Yesterday, I put in a new garage door opener. It died on me 2 days ago. It's like everything's breaking at once, which is usually what happens.
Yes.
Last week, I tore the dryer apart because after 15 years, it was all plugged up, so it wasn't venting. So I had to clean that all out.
Yeah, it's something I try to do at least every other year.
Uh-huh.
Only because as a kid, when dryers were first invented, makes me feel old, but at that time they exhausted them out the bottom, the one we had, and it would supposedly the warm air going across the floor would help heat the room, but there was a flap that you could throw inside that would force it to come out at your feet, because laundries, when I was a kid, it was a basement and you didn't necessarily have a lot of heat in the basement.
Yeah.
Whatever, but we had a dryer fire.
Yeah, they're horrible.
Once you have them,
yeah,
you don't want to ever have another one.
Well,
and
they still
at the
say
time I was about 10 years old, 12 years old, only to hear my mother screaming, "Fire, fire!"
Mm-hmm.
And my father was home from work, and he went and grabbed the fire extinguisher, and that ended the dryer.
Yeah. Well, they still say that there's an average of 15,000 houses a year burned down from dryer fires.
Yep, I can believe it.
Our thing was, it was so clogged up, we weren't even getting any airflow anymore, so the clothes weren't getting dry.
Yep. No, I spent probably 2 hours taking this down from being a square this morning.
Wow.
Gorgeous wood, but it's hard.
Yeah.
And I still have a bunch of scratches that are running in here from tools. And a blemish I want to get rid of.
Yeah. I saw the blemish. That's a nice little highlight. Yeah.
Well, that was a crack that was in it, and I filled it.
Mm-hmm.
Reasonably so, though I used a thin CA with a pair of long nose, needle nose pliers holding the plastic extension tube in the hole before you tip the bottle up. Because I didn't want it to scar the outside the wood, blemish it.
Yeah.
Because I hate to throw stuff away. This is just too pretty.
Yeah, it is. I love black walnut. It's one of my favorites.
But while I've got a really secure mount on this, my thinking is, because once I get it turned around, and that's not that deep on a chuck, if I get a catch, this could go flying.
Yeah.
So,
hey, Johnny?
I've got a wood screw in here and with a spacer to hold it. So I'd rather get the rough stuff, because I know it's hard, out of the way, because I don't want to get a catch yet. I'll probably wait until it's almost done and then kick myself.
Yeah, you want to take a Mucinex right now, John, or 2 of them?
But, let's see. Let's see, where am I at? Yeah. One thing I try to do is that let me get rid of a clamp under here. I put the emergency switch on it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And one thing I do, because what kills them is, for some reason, dust, though this one seems sealed.
Mm-hmm.
But
it finds a
I
way
got
in.
the good one that's magnetic, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I keep the bag over it, but
yeah.
I always try to put it down here in front of me so I can lean into it and turn it off.
Right. Good idea.
I
don't know why all lathes don't have that in the first place.
I don't either. It's a big safety feature.
You know, for a face shield, look at it.
You're not turning with that, are you?
Hell no. I got this. Just for sanding and chemical stuff, you know. And for eating leaves.
Oh, those sound good.
Yeah.
I like chocolate.
But I do like the way this turns.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah. It is so hard. But it's interesting because I'll see where it's worked there and barely touches. But this thing is solid in here, so it's not wobbling. But I did take a sander to it earlier today before I fixed the glue to see if I could sand it down, but I couldn't. And the thing I seem to find over the years that with a light touch, you can feel when the blemish is gone. In this case, it's that crack that I couldn't see all of it yet.
Yeah.
But it was just to test the tools out, and then if I can make something out of it, fine. If not, the wood was dried in 12 or 13.
Did you power sand that, or did you sand it by hand?
Oh, I sanded it by hand to some extent, but this is basically right. As you can see you can't see, but where I've been cutting, it's still, I could probably hit it with probably 220.
Nice.
Just want to get rid of these bumps, only because I've determined that I want to get it done before I turn it around. This
Oh,
is what
nice.
I did most of the work with.
Okay.
It's one of the cutters that come with the kit.
Right.
In fact, phooey.
Oh, you
When
got
you
the
get
box
the-
there too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. When we were at the swap meet, you didn't have the box yet.
no, I got that already,
Yeah.
and that's what's supplied.
Nice. So you get all that. That's a pretty good price that he's charging. It's $98.
Well, you get two cutter with for 98. You get two cutters. And the two wrenches.
Oh, okay.
One comes on it, and then there's a second one with it. The only thing I'll bug him over is that he puts the wrench in here when you buy it, and he uses a hot iron to melt the dividers here so the wrench will fit in so you can slide the top on.
Oh, okay.
Don't work.
I'm sure he'll be showing it off at the retreat.
Oh, yeah. He'll have them there for people to buy.
Yeah. I'm looking at getting some Carter products while I'm there.
Like,
I want to get the tension release for my bandsaw.
yeah,
'Cause I'm
I would
tired-
like that.
Yeah, I'm tired of cranking that little knob, and racking my knuckles on the ceiling.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind two of them.
I'm getting that, and I'm getting the circle cutting jig for my logs, because what I'm doing now is not safe.
The circle cutting jig?
Yeah,
You can
they
make
got
one of them.
they got a really nice circle cutting jig, and you can use it for logs too.
Well, let me swing this around. That's the circle cutting jig that I got.
Yeah, that's it. Hmm.
All right.
And
Yeah, that's the one. Hmm.
yeah, the little white finger,
Hmm.
that was my addition after beta testing.
Oh, okay.
I've got
I like the
a
idea
lot
of
of
it.
Carter stuff
Hmm.
because I've been a beta tester for a while for them.
Yeah.
When I submitted my tool design and stuff, they put me on the beta list.
Oh, very good.
Oh, where? Oh, I'll find it tomorrow. I had my honing metal card fall. I heard it hit. It usually sits on a magnet on my headstock up here. When I picked this up, it fell.
Oh.
Because normally I keep that in my pocket. It's easier to take out and use, but I have taken it in the house by accident, and it does make a heck of a noise in a washing machine.
I bet.
But I got two, and I keep one in the house for knives because they're so good.
Hmm.
And I found out how to clean them. It's called a dishwasher. Just drop it in with the utensil basket, and they clean fine.
Wow.
All the junk and everything comes out of them. It doesn't hurt anything because it doesn't get hot enough to warp that thick metal.
Right.
but it cleans them. Yeah, I'd rather get rid of that. I can still feel it here. Let's see, how am I? The other thing I like about it and dislike about it is it's got the flat on the back.
Right.
Which is nice, and it does come to a point. So if you're back here, you have more ability to get caught at this end with a catch, and of course it stabilizes it. When you're up front doing detail work, you can roll it.
Yeah.
You know, to any angle you want to catch the detail that you want, which is nice because of the way, you know, it's pointed. But that means you're always adjusting a tool rest.
Yeah, yeah.
And you can cheat because the people have asked me, how do you know what angle to cut that at? Right there.
Right.
They say the wood's got to be moving, but it can't because it's so hard. Because I've already did this once. But what I've got, it's nice and smooth and I can't feel anything, and that's one thing I listen for. And I've had people tell me that I'm crazy for it, but if you sit and it's perfectly quiet and you're running and if you've got a chip or something you're trying to turn out of the way, you can hear when it's gone.
Yeah.
And people, what?
Well, there's nothing crazy about that.
No, but
no, that's the truth.
Yeah, you can hear when it's gone.
Yeah.
And being a technology geek, I've got a stereo system in here that's just Bluetooth and FM radio and line in. So my tablet during the day is always Bluetooth connected to it, and my phone is connected to my ear.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I can't tell when it rings.
Right.
Because I want to listen to what I'm doing down here.
Yeah. See, in my shop, my phone is connected to the Bluetooth speaker and my hearing aid.
Ah.
So I
yeah,
can
I've been told I can do it, but I haven't had much luck. This is one of these. I've just got one of the earbuds in.
Okay.
And they last about 6 hours before they charge them. But the nice thing is 6-7 hours later, I just put the other one in.
Right.
And they charge in an hour and a half, so I can go all day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I had no problems with hooking mine up to both. Now, I wanted to have my hearing aid where I switched between the phone and the iPad, and that just created too much of a problem. So I just don't do it on the iPad. It just got too confused.
Yeah, I can believe that. But one of the things I like to do on my lathe is I'm a geek. My vacuum cleaner with the magnet up here and the dust collector.
Yeah.
And that picks everything up from this. And directly overhead is the dust collector, the big one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the dust filter.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and I don't need it plugged in. And I got all the stuff. I like magnets, as you can tell.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, magnets are a great thing in the shop.
Yeah, I keep track of where everything's at. Let me get rid of some of this. Can you hear that running?
No.
Okay, that'll get rid of a lot of the dust. But my tools, I like pegboards. I used to have much more room, but I had to give up part of the garage.
Hmm.
But everything, that's my little amp, but everything I have, I pile up there.
Yeah.
And all the safety equipment and my wood supply. Uh, the big stuff, and as I go down, put my portable saw table. I got wood all the way down,
Hmm.
and I got everything for a router. Got two big routers, but I haven't got space for them anymore. So all that has to come apart, and all the pen stuff. And I got most of the pen stuff from Terry Williams' estate.
Right. You were telling me about that earlier. Yep.
So that come in handy.
Hmm.
But yeah, and I have in the distance there, I've got two band saws. Uh, because the shop is wired according to code in 91, uh, it posed a bit of a problem for me because it's got 220, but it was set up at the time with a derated neutral. You know what that is?
Yeah, I do.
They were perfectly allowed.
Hmm.
So I have two 10s and a 20. So everything I can stick on the two 10s is on them.
Yeah.
And the only thing I use the neutral for is two lighting circuits, the dust collector, uh, my drill, and a grinder.
Uh-huh.
And all the lights are LED. So when the inspector came by, not to inspect it, but I have one that was very interested on what wood turning is all about. And I got talking about it, and he said, well, you followed the code for the time.
Hmm. And it's grandfathered in.
Yep. And I treated it the right way. And he said, no electrician he knows would do that. And I said, of course they wouldn't. They want to rip it out and bill at today's rates to put a new one in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see, where do I start with this? Let me see. Yep, that'll do.
Yep. Hey, Bob, your camera's up so we can't see the bowl.
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
There we go. Thank you.
Uh, yeah, I think about, let me see, go a little finer. I was at 220. Let me see. one thing about having kids around the house since they were born is that they have a lot of stuff as kids that parents think, oh, you don't need it anymore in school, so we'll throw it away. Pencil boxes, as an example.
Yeah. Captain Eddie has his wife get as many as she can every time she's at Walmart because they can get them there for $1.
Yeah. And I have learned I always sand backwards on this because it automatically pulls it into the dust collector first.
Right.
So I've had people over that I've worked on before the COVID, and no, we can't do that. You got to anchor it down with a set screw and all. Yeah, I got them. But
well, yeah, that's the only thing you have to do. I mean, it's not a big thing. Lots of people turn that way.
I know they do, and see if how this is going to handle this. I want to make sure that my joint looks good before I flip it around.
Mm-hmm.
And show you how hard this sucker is.
Hey, Dad, Effie.
There you can see what it's like.
That's just gorgeous.
Yeah. The chatoyance is something else out of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful.
But I use, what do they call it? Stove alcohol for alcohol stoves.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I get it by the gallon can. And I've got the other stuff, but I don't like it. The denatured, because the denatured, whatever they put in there, to me, screws up the finish. And I don't know what's in there. At least the denatured I got at Lowe's years ago. The only thing I use it for is cleaning stains off my lathe and that.
No, I've never noticed anything myself.
The odorless mineral spirits.
Okay.
It's white.
Mm-hmm.
It's good for cleaning up paint and messes, but
yeah,
and that's all I use it for.
That's what you're using right now?
No, I'm using the real thing. Let me get it here. I have a storage cabinet that I got at an auction for keeping paints and explosives and stuff in. It's totally away from here.
Right. Okay.
The real denatured alcohol.
Yeah. Well, that's what I got at Lowe's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had Amazon deliver it, and when I found out what Lowe's charged for it, it was still cheaper. Delivered to my door.
Yeah. I may have to go to Amazon to get shellac sanding sealer. Nobody around here seems to have it.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah, you can get
But
shellac all you want, but no sanding sealer.
Yeah, let's see, what have I got on that? I've got it already mixed with shellac, so.
Well, I use shellac sanding sealer for open grain woods like catalpa, something that's very lightweight, because it's going to drink up a lot of sealer.
Yeah.
But all other woods, I use cellulose sanding sealer. I like the looks of that better.
I just found out today that my car was stolen, officially.
Oh, really?
So,
even though you've known that for how long now?
Well, I had a police finally call to find out why my car, or a credit bureau get a hold of me because they wanted to know more about the car, of why I'm not paying the bill for the towing and everything else.
Yeah.
But they didn't tell me what car it was. Other than my car. And I had them send me documentation on it. Now the trick is to get it loose.
Yeah.
How you going, Chris?
Yeah, come on.
Is that on a worm screw?
Yeah.
Yeah, they can hold real tight sometimes, especially with the hard woods.
Oh, here's my tool for that.
Oh, there you go.
Let's see. Yeah, it's got to go down. See if it'll do it. It's long enough for this one. I don't want to have to take anything off to get it. Shouldn't have sanded it so well. But it is so pretty when it gets sanded. Let's see, I always get backwards when I'm trying to do this. No, I'm going the wrong way, aren't I? I don't use this often.
Don't you use a similar thing like that to take off your oil filter in your car?
Yep, that's what it's for.
Okay.
But, and I don't have a bigger one. I've got one smaller. I might be at the limit to this.
Yeah. Yeah, you might be past the point where it's going to grip properly.
Yeah.
Or if it's too skinny, maybe get some cloth and wrap around the bowl first to make it a bit fatter. Because it looks like it's just slipping because there's too much slack there still.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's slippery too.
So The wood I'm working on today is 400-year-old wood.
With a bottle of vodka.
Methylated spirits.
Okay.
It was a chili bottle, chili sauce.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll try and.
There's actually a bottle of vodka that looks like the bottle looks like that. It's called Day of the Dead vodka.
Yeah. That's what these skulls are. Day of the Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice to see that crack held.
Yeah. That would have been heartbreaking if it came apart.
To be honest, I was kind of thinking it was going to anyway because of the way the wood behaved at Robbo's house.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have been a bit disappointed, but not as normal, you know.
Yeah. Well, some people will actually take something like saran wrap and wrap the outside real tight when they got a big crack like that.
Yep. Yeah, the girls.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I got a bunch of these I've made up over the years, and they come in handy.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I got them all the way up to 12-inch.
Oh, yeah. Sorry if I'm noisy. I'm not really sorry. I just sort of got to say it, you know. What did I do that for? I don't even need that. Sorry, Jeff.
No, that's okay.
All right, I'll do it some more then.
It's just all the normal noises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll try and keep it as quiet as possible so people can hear themselves think at least.
I've got 2 stronghold chucks out of 4. 5. I got a couple. Paul's got a couple of my chucks because I loaned him my other lathe.
Mm-hmm.
Because he, during the height when COVID was last year, hit really bad. We had paranoia everywhere, so
Yeah.
he would come over and I'd stay in the house, but then it was, well, then you got to spray everything down, and so it was easier because it would take probably 20 minutes to disinfect the lathe and tools that you touched and all that.
Yeah.
Then they come back and said, well, you really don't need that, so you wear gloves. So I ended up getting a box of gloves
Oh, yeah.
with a magnet so that I can stick them anywhere. I love magnets.
Yeah. I get my gloves at Harbor Freight, and they're actually
That's
pretty
where
good.
I got this.
Yeah, they're pretty good quality. I got another box of gloves for around the house here that I got at the drugstore, and they tear real easy. They're very thin. But the Harbor Freight ones, I'll wear 3-4 times when I'm doing finishing and stuff like that.
I do too. I Fugal.
There we go. Nitrate, best way to go.
Yeah, the only ones I buy now.
We got all these different brands, and they probably all come from the same factory in China.
That's the only one. Don't tell anyone.
The only problem is with the shop cut down in size, I got to keep juggling things. What I
Yeah.
really want, and I wish I knew someone that had one they wanted to get rid of, but that's an impossibility, is the swing away adapter for the Powermatic.
Right. They're not cheap.
Because no, well, I went from 200 a year ago to 3 now,
Yeah.
and
Well, the swing away for the Nova is $295, and there's hardly anything to it.
yeah. Well, it's heavy and it's all cast iron. That's their excuse.
Yeah.
And the
Which
shipping
is all it is.
has been a serious problem because there was getting a lot of the stuff into the country,
Mm-hmm.
even though it was from our friendly next door ally, China.
Yeah.
Didn't work too well, and there wasn't a lot of people working, so they had to raise the price $100. So I use a bar stool.
There you go. That'll do it.
The one I normally sit on, I use it. Put it at the end and just lift it up and sit it on top of it.
Yeah, I got a guy I know in Indiana. He's got one of those Rubbermaid carts at the end of his lathe, and he'll just swing it off and lay it on the cart and wheel it out of the way.
Yeah. Well, I did have when the lathe had room, but since they wanted to pile all the tools up in one area,
Mm-hmm.
and I made the mistake of putting everything, including the lathe, on wheels, so I could clean.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is way behind me, piled up with other stuff because I was kind of using everything, all the space, but I did all the maintenance. Now I'm repairing a couple of chairs that teenagers think it was perfectly all right to stand on the cross pieces
Yeah.
for a tall chair, and of course you don't do that if you're 240.
No. Shoot, toddlers
And
break
then,
them.
and then rock back and forth and take the leg with it.
Yeah.
And then they say, well, I'm sorry, I didn't think it would do that. It wouldn't at my house. It would. But it's c'est la vie.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out what tools to use the best for what, and the distances because of this apron. I don't want to be too far away. I know I've got the adapter to use it with the hollow roller because I've already had it out, and instead of this handle, I've put it into their big handle.
Uh-huh.
Because that's a Carter handle too.
Okay.
And they have them of 2 sizes. I beta this for them too. I like beta testing. It's still here testing. But I did. This was the 2 things ago that I tested for them. Yeah. I'm concerned, and what I'm playing with is I want the broadest point surface that I can have on the tool rest. I don't want to get up here because I'm not doing detail work.
Right.
So, and not knowing the wood is hard, and I hate to be far off the tool rest.
Yeah.
A little high. I love Lyle's tool rests, and I've got a couple of them.
Yeah.
The reason being, for my favorite, is I can sit and hold it and adjust the nut up and down,
Mm-hmm.
and then tighten it. That gives me a reference from where I'm at, up or down.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid to do it with the lathe moving because I'm only going up or down until the nut hits the rest.
Yeah.
The bottom of the tool rest. Too high. Move the nut up a bit and just drop it.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Boy, that is hard. That is hard.
I still think I'm a little high, and the reason being is I got to lower it as if I was doing negative rake scraping. But when you do that with this, it brings a tail end up.
Yeah.
And I'm used to turning with my arm under the tool.
Mm-hmm. With
all the other tool handles, I like that. I like this because I can steer with it.
Yeah.
That's what it comes with, and if you're doing detailed work, it's fine. Yeah, that is really hard. Let's see. You know it's hot when it burns your hand.
Yeah.
How you going, Joy?
Yeah, that is hard,
Yeah.
especially when it stays together.
Yeah.
There you go, look.
You may have to sharpen that already.
Yeah.
There you go, Joy. I've been using it already. Look.
Well, I heard my card hit the ground. Just got to see where it went. Hmm. Being a flat card, it should fall flat, but I heard it hit the concrete, but it's buried in all these shavings.
Yeah.
So let's see. Oh. Yeah, I'll be back in just about a minute or less because I'll have to grab one from the house, my spare.
Okay.
Here's a big column.
Is that better for you, Joy? Yeah, as you can see, Dr. Bob's in his shop today, so he doesn't have headphones right now.
I got them on.
All right. It just it's very loud.
I got an earbud, but I'm using the mic off it. That way I don't have the echo.
Yep.
But I had to go get my stone.
Yep.
Metal one.
I put you on full screen so we could help you find it, but I couldn't see it.
Well, I heard it hit the floor, so it's underneath probably the dust collector, and I can't get to it right now because the tailstock's in the way.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Well, he said he was going to sell this and just get off it. Yeah. Yep. That's $4 more an hour than what he was making before at the place. And it's no-brainer work. Yeah. I heard you remind him he's getting a shot tomorrow. And I sent him a text saying we have to be there by 9. Yeah. He's in the first batch of the day. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if he took a couple. He does. Well, we were having trouble figuring out the thermometer. Matter of fact, we somehow put it in a program mode. Yeah. Well, he should still be taking those sinus tabs every 3 hours until they're gone. Because of it. Yeah, they're designed for allergy. And the mucinex will help him with that too if he gets congested. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good night, sweetheart.
Good night, sweetheart.
This is the hardest wood I have turned. It's worse than ironwood.
You know what Robbo would have said by now, Dr. Bob?
Yeah, throw it in the fire bin.
Stop your whinging and just turn it. I can hear that coming out of Robbo's mouth.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'll be here. So I've got abrasive paste that I've just put on that on the inside. I'm about to put it on the outside now.
Get rid of that. Oh, here.
What are you turning at, Bob?
What's for speed?
Yeah.
This is before they had speedometers.
Oh, okay.
This is a before A model.
Yeah, the 3528. I'm just curious. You know, they say it does. You don't need a readout. You go by feel,
Yeah.
and that's kind of what I do. I just use all the presets on mine.
I'm still getting this angel hair.
Yeah.
Let me get rid of some of this. Being so hard, I'll tell you, I have a complaint with our smocks.
Yeah.
They need Velcro right there.
Yes, they do.
But
Yeah,
being so hard, I don't want any bigger, it's going to really throw it around. And that's what I'm afraid of. That's why I like using this thing, because I got the nice sharp point and I can come in from an angle and go straight back like I was to set the side.
Yeah, that's a half inch, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, for that size bowl, maybe a 3/8 inch might be easier.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I have one that small.
Oh, okay.
Good ones.
I keep a 3/8 inch for any bowl under 8 inches, and I find I don't fight with it as much as I do with the half inch.
Yeah.
Now I like the red smock there, Dr. Bob.
I know. I wish we could get our store open and we could send you one.
Yeah.
I like red too. Ooh.
Yeah, I think we got a couple reds in the stock, but they're buried deep into the storage.
Yeah.
No, I think we had a look online yesterday, and comparing the sizes, I'm a large in America.
You're a large? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm an extra large.
which in our sizing that makes me 4XL.
Okay. Yeah, I noticed that with shoes. I noticed on I got a pair of shoes and it's got US size, UK size.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we go more by UK sizes. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's in all the shoes.
Well, here's the only 3/8 I got. Too pointy. I use this for detail stuff.
Okay.
Let's see, what else have I got here?
I also, when I'm doing bowls, I don't come from the center out. I'm very nervous about that.
My and then go in. But this is so hard.
Yeah.
Nope, too small.
Yeah.
Or I'm a little too high on it.
Yeah, Joy, it's most of this darkness in the grain is actually this piece of wood was a part of a bridge, and the wood itself is 400 years old. I'm gonna mute Dr. Bob because that's getting a bit loud. Sorry, Dr. Bob, I had to mute you because they couldn't hear me. I couldn't hear myself, rather. Yeah, the wood's 400 years old, Joy, and those black lines there, they're actually, when it was on the bridge, that's water running through the rings, the grain in the rings, anyway, and there as well, that's water damage all through there. But yes, I do agree, it does look nice, very striking.
I like wood that has a history.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like that pine I got from that mausoleum.
Yes.
Yeah. And I had
Do
somebody
you remember?
respond.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Do you remember the Zug Island?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
The railroad bridge that was built for steam engines that went across the Zug Island and back?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
The header or head block at each end of the swing on the ground, not on the bridge, but on the in the earth.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a couple of real nice pieces of that a friend of mine, when I was working at the tech shop, was a woodworker, and they pulled it up and had to put concrete piers in, and he'd been saving the wood. So he brought it over, so we had the big bandsaw that could cut it up, and I helped him cut it. So I got a couple of nice bowls out of it and some other stuff, memorabilia that I've given away to a couple of good friends of mine who are railroad buffs. So, and I got some I was going to make a parting tool out of. Let me show you. This is a parting tool. Yeah.
See you later, Chris. Thanks for coming in.
That's some of the wood
Oh, okay.
out of it, and I've cut this in half to match it, and I got the steel to make a nice parting tool out of it.
Oh, very nice.
So, but
Yeah, that'll be great when it's done.
Yeah.
Now, is that a high carbon steel?
Yes.
Very nice.
But I like being able to have woods that have a meaning to it or something unique.
Yeah, I agree. Whoa, that's scary.
Yeah. Yeah. A little low for it. Yeah, it's a little. That's the smallest cutter I have.
Yeah. Well, as hard as the wood is, you're probably not going to win that battle then. You know, just have to do with what you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just find with the bowl that's 8 inches or less, if I'm using a 1/2 inch cutter, and I always come from the outside in. I never come from the inside out. But I find that making that curve around the bend, sometimes it jumps a lot. And that's even with
in here, yeah.
Yeah, and that's even with cutting the foot off, and so I don't have I have a double bevel, and I still get that. Yeah. And that could be just totally me and my technique. I don't know.
Have a look at that, Dr. Bob.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Wow, yes.
So I want to see that Sunday. Don't feel bad. Don't feel nervous because Alfred's there.
Oh, he's an alien. I don't feel nervous around aliens.
No, we want everybody to show off stuff, because that's how we learn, that.
Yeah.
And you'll not get any criticism whatsoever. Actually, Alfred will tell you that's an incredible bull. Yep. And when you got the history that goes with it, we're fascinated with that stuff.
Yeah. Yes.
Since we're talking about the history of stuff, if I had time, I would turn a pen out of that mausoleum wood, because I call it a ghost pen.
Yes.
Yes.
I even thought about turning a few of them and selling them that way, because the people that are restoring the mausoleum, they're very unorganized, and I've tried to talk with them to get, say, I'll make stuff and donate all the profits to you guys, and they just don't get back to me. So and it's too bad, They're fighting an uphill battle, getting grants and stuff like that to do that.
Yeah. Yep. Shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah. I mean, that wood went into that mausoleum in 1826.
Wow.
And it was from trees that were just cut down, and they estimated the trees were about 75 years old at the time.
Bloody hell.
So that's really old wood.
Yes.
I don't know how old, because I don't have a calculator with me. So
nice and seasoned and ready to be turned.
But it's soft. You would think it would get hard with time, like a lot of wood does, but this pine stayed soft. It's almost like turning styrofoam.
Huh. I wonder if it's because of what it's absorbed from the ground.
All the embalming material?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if I make any more pens, I'm going to cut the blanks and stabilize them.
Have a little write up with the pen saying where it comes from and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that increases the value of anything, at least by 2, if not 3.
I turned down a couple seats from Tiger Stadium many years ago, and I wished I never did, because I know a guy that bought 2 of them, and he just took all the wood and turned them into pens, and he was selling these pens for $600 a piece. He actually had certificates of authenticity that the friends of the stadium signed for him.
Wow, that's right.
Yeah, and he was just making like Sierra pens. Nothing real fancy. Yeah.
Yep. Just the history.
Yep.
Maybe I better find out what bridge it was taken from.
Yeah, you should. Well, in 2018, we had a gallery for our club. We had an exhibit, and I didn't consider myself much of an artist compared to the rest of the guys, so I took a piece of wood that came out of a barn that was built in 1865. And I saw a guy, the barn had collapsed, and he was going through the wood, and I stopped, and I asked him if he knew the owner. He says, "I'm the farmer. I'm the one that owns it." And I says, "Can I get a hold of a couple pieces of beam?" And he goes, "Sure, take what you want." So he let me take some beam. And so I took one of those beams. It was just as black as night. I just figured there wouldn't be anything great in it, but I figured I had nothing to lose. He just gave it to me. When I turned it, it was the most beautiful chestnut. It was just absolutely drop dead gorgeous. And so I put that in the gallery, and I called it Barn Rebirth. And I gave a history of it. And it sold. It was the first item that sold that night.
Any word on another meeting place?
No, we did look at the church next to Pontiac Creative Arts Center, and it has potential. The problem is the lady doesn't close till July, and she is not sure what she wants to do with it. She would like to have us in there, but the fact that she doesn't know what she's going to do with it, means that it may not work out for us. If she keeps the upstairs where the sanctuary is, You know, it's got
Yeah.
all chairs and everything in it. We're set for meetings. But I asked her if we could have a section of the basement to build a shop, and she goes, "Sure, if I don't decide to turn that into an apartment for myself." But she doesn't know. So I'm looking at. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for a call from the Lutheran Church in Huntington Woods. I've talked with them, and I got to go take a look at it. And I'm going to get a hold of. Used to be the pastor at my church, Jack Manstrick. He's now out in Pontiac at the Methodist Church there, and it's a huge church. And I'm going to give him a call and see what they got. I think we lost Jay.
He's still live.
I am not seeing him anywhere. I'm just seeing you and I.
Yeah. This is his smallest cutter, cup cutter.
Uh-huh. Oh.
And we know it's sharp.
Yes, we do.
Wasn't quite expecting that, but in a way I was, as hard as it is.
Yeah. And what I do is with those small cup cutters, I never use them at a 90 degree. I always use them at a 45. Oh, that chop up the end? Well, you had to turn that much off anyway, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, cup cutters, I always use at a 45. I never use it at a 90 because that happens to me.
Yeah, I was trying to get in and cut that corner because I'm not used to using these cutters.
Yeah, you got to use them at a 45. And I was about to say that when the ball went flying.
Yeah, and that's where the crack was.
Yeah. Yeah. Did it tear up the mortise? That looks okay.
It's got a little crack in it, but not much.
Yeah.
Because I'm lucky because I make the mortise deeper than I need to.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that cracked right along the grain too, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's not much.
You're going to refinish the outside, or at least the foot of it.
Oh, yeah, because I was going to cut it back because I don't want the mortise left in there that much.
Yeah.
But I wanted to know what it was like to test it for hardness and be able to see what kind of finish and stuff. And I did all this with the other tools, and that was the whole idea, is to see what I think of the different tools and what they do.
Yeah. Oh,
but it flew, and that's the only damage.
Yeah. That is a bummer, though.
It'll go back on.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm on YouTube. It's still showing us live, so I'm surprised it does that with Jay not being on.
Well, yeah, but that's a good question.
Yeah, because Zoom won't do that.
No.
Yep. So.
But StreamYard will, because that way you can pass it between different people.
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, listen, Bob, I got to get going. It's getting late for me. I got to take my son tomorrow.
5 after.
Yeah, I'm taking my son tomorrow morning to get a second COVID shot.
Ah, good.
Oh, there's Jay.
Sorry, I was sanding the nib off of here.
Oh, you missed it. Bob's ball went flying.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll watch it back later.
Well, it went flying, and I wasn't in the line of fire. I know better than that. But I just got a little chip out of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's looking good, Jay. Well, I was just telling Bob I've got to sign off.
And the thing is, that was the catch. It did fine until it hit the grain again there.
Yes.
So it didn't take much to knock it out.
Yeah. So you want to use your regular tool
work.
to fix that. Yeah. Use your regular tool to fix that. And if you use the cup tool again, use it at a 45 with real light cuts.
I've never used the cup tool before.
I use those pretty much only for finishing on a punky like piece of wood, like spalted.
Ah, okay.
That's where they come real handy for the tear out. Well, after I stabilize it.
Yeah, I'll probably put this back on again.
Yeah. So
that way I like riding the bevel on it.
Right. So okay, well listen, I'm gonna drop out. It's getting late.
Yeah, I am too. I've got to make sure I get the kids up for school in the morning.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much for the pair of you for coming in. I do appreciate it.
Oh, it was great. It's my favorite time of the week. So I will see both you guys on Sunday.
Yes, you will.
Yes.
Okay.
And Saturday is Grand Rapids, and they're doing a pepper mill.
Oh, okay.
They got a special demonstrator. I'm a member of the Grand Rapids Club too.
Okay. Well, it sounds like I'm going to be doing a lot of gardening work on Saturday.
Yeah. But I did make a suggestion, I'll tell you now, before our club meets on it, is that Grand Rapids also had Western Michigan together, and they had a joint demo.
Mm-hmm.
But being a member of Grand Rapids, I was involved in that. And they had a discussion afterwards. Myself and about 4 others stayed in place, and John was one of them from Alaska. And because he's also in the Grand Rapids Club. And what we come down to is we got them really interested in the fact of having, maybe because we have so many people from other countries active in our club,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe it would be to the advantage when it comes to having and growing your club, because clubs are diminishing. But some are getting bigger in a sense. People will sit and watch them, like us tonight.
Yeah.
And it's a great tool for testing, and just like we do with Jay, we just shop talk. And I suggested that because being a member of the Grand Rapids, I'm also a member, an associate of Western Michigan. And I said, wouldn't it be easier if our 3 clubs, and I can't talk for them, but our 3 clubs get together, because we can't always afford a big name demonstrator to do a demonstration, but to increase what we have, maybe one week we have one club have its club meeting and they have a demonstrator. The next week, Grand Rapids meeting, because Grand Rapids is the same day as ours. Well, they're Saturday, we're Sunday. And what we could do is have all 3 clubs possibly get together for Zoom programs for guest turners. And it would increase all of our population and cut the cost down tremendously, because a lot of the guests don't charge by attendee. They charge by hour of use.
Yeah.
And they thought that was fantastic.
It's a great idea. The big issue that we'd have to discuss with the other clubs is how many people we're allowed to have on Zoom. We're limited to 100. And our general meetings are generally about 50 to 60 people on average. So depending on how many people you get from the other meetings, that could present a problem.
But that could be part of what is put together as they join, as associate members. Not that we share, but we actually get as an associate member of all 3 as a master online program or something like that, where we could afford the big ones. All of us could. And then we could pick up a 200 ticket for all of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it would be cheaper.
And I came out and went like that. Okay.
Yeah.
And it would be cheaper in cost per head.
Yeah. And it's definitely something that we need to explore.
I'm gonna knock it on the head now. I'm gonna go and have my lunch, and then I've been come out and been told off. So it's time for me to go and have my lunch now.
Okay. Well, listen, it's time for me to go too. So you guys take care and be safe.
See you on Sunday.
Okay. Yep. And Bob, no more stuff flying off the lathe.
That's the first. Really, that's the first in a year or two.
It's been 2015 was the last time I had anything come off the lathe. And that's the one that hit me in the head. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is so hard. I've been dreading cutting it, but
yeah. Well, you just got to go real light cuts, even with the conventional tools. And if you use the cup tool, always go to 45.
okay, because I've never